It's so sad how this stuff works out. But if you guys are anything like my new coworker, who is a Navy veteran from the Afghanistan war, I explained to him, to you, to him, to create a variable into which things were rational. I explained to him, right now, I am online with the FBI and a brigadier general, one of which I know. Now, they are in a similar context as you. If you do not start making sense, if you do not stop threatening me, if you continually try to be right when you're clearly wrong, and our boss in this very simple job we have to maintain and prepare and keep safe a very small pharmaceutical construction location, then it's never going to work. He has been forced into a psychological disposition, which is PTSD there and PTSD here. Threats, violence, and circumstances which he felt heroic in at the moment, circumstances into which he now feels threatened, concerned by things other than guns in his own country, because of like a TED video and a woman explaining exactly what lying looks like by describing the face on Dick Cheney's mouth through and thus what he created in the War on Terror with George Bush. You know, I know some people think I think I'm Jesus, but I'm not. He came through with a philosophical, brilliant perspective on life, blew the minds of a bunch of judicial doctors with conceptions of political science which made no sense to his overall simplicity of modern philosophy in a way of life, so that essentially people wouldn't have to be bombarded by a robotic engine to think about how to do the most basic and obvious necessities to work together and enjoy it. What he did was a movement. What I would have done, I would have done it the way they do it. I would have gone to the Supreme Court, proven if you put me in Gentile court, I will humiliate you even further, which in this circumstance is a Guantanamo Bay courtroom, variably, and all the people around you who you've taught to be irrational and greedy, I will tell them I am going to sue the Supreme Court, the federal government, for the Supreme Court deed, literal building. Unfortunately, you don't get all their slaves along with that, but unfortunately, I have a variable motive which I can grasp politically. I could legitimately do based on if you two and others around you who have similar motives to lie and continue lying and not admit you're lying and leave me in a twilight nonsense, into which I would say, hey, guess what? I'm only suing to shut you guys up from your nonsense, to get away from your nonsense, to end you having any political and or professional career, to validate any form of liability unto which you continue this nonsense and keep creating, dominance unto this nonsense in a never-ending, epic, retarded nation. Do you get what I'm saying now? I would not go around the world, would not go around Israel, claiming you should make me your king because you like me and I'm a super-duper superstar. I would take out every judicial, intellectual mind, because I don't need to know how they work. All I need to know is how Hippocratic their actions at one point in time and disposition are, and relevate on all the threats and bullshit I've gotten for pointing that out very rationally. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm going to take the deed to your 3 branches and still point out that wasn't enough. If any of you federally think you have a right to displace everything you say you protect,